Welcome to Advertisers Watching Ads. My name is Tom Ollerton. I'm the founder of Automated Creative, and this is a weekly show where brands watch other brands' ads and discuss what's good, great, or bad about them. And this week is no different. We are partnered with the Conscious Advertising Network, so please go out and check what those guys do after the show. We are joined by 3 guests this week, so let's meet them.
Hello, I'm Rachel Smith, COO of ExchangeWire.
Hello, I'm Alberto. I'm a brand manager at Nestle UK and Ireland.
Hi there, I'm Mark Rose. I'm the group brand manager at BP.
Thanks so much for joining us, guys. And this week we will be discussing one ad only, and that is Nike's new ads. It was made by Wyden & Kennedy in Portland and stitched together entirely from archival video. The WK team worked with Pulse Films and A52 and researched over 4,000 sports action sequences and chose 72 of them to kind of put together 36 split screen moments. It was released at the restart of the NBA season, and it has been massively shared in social. It's racked up tens and tens of, if not hundreds of millions of views by this point. So let's have a watch.
We're never alone. And that is our strength. Because when we're doubted, we'll play as one. When we're held back, we'll go farther and harder. If we're not taken seriously, we'll prove that wrong. And if we don't fit the sport, we'll change the sport. We know things won't always go our way.
And the world's sporting events are postponed or cancelled.
But whatever it is, we'll find a way. And when things aren't fair, we'll come together for change.
We have a responsibility
to make this world a better place.
And no matter how bad it gets, we will always come back stronger. Because nothing can stop what we can do together.
Rachel, what was your reaction to this ad the first time you saw it?
First response was, love a Nike ad. Critique was, I just feel like it's not quite as cool and slick as some of their other ads. But it's sort of got some overtures of, dare I say this, I'm sure it won't be popular, cheesiness to it. There's something a little bit manufactured. There was a lot of obvious criticism about Nike as a company and their sort of, ethical kind of approach or the critique of their lack of ethics in the way that they manufacture their goods. Again, that's something that might be open for debate. But in addition to that, I also found some stuff about backlash from staff who were saying, it's great that you are front-footed in producing an ad that stirs up an emotional response to social justice campaigns, but what are you doing internally with us as employees, and how do you manage and run your organisation?
So I'm curious, Mark, what do you think? Do you think that they should have listened to that internal task force and done an ad, or been more public about the work that they're doing internally to solve a diversity issue, or did they do the right thing just to get on with that and produce an ad that's got them a lot of attention?
Yeah, well, firstly, thanks for having me on the show. I'm a big fan, and you certainly picked a great ad to unpick. I think that's a really difficult question from an outsider to answer, but I think no company is perfect, and every company can do more and should do more, and I'm sure I'll do more, and Nike are probably no different. So I'm not sure that should stop them putting out work like this, which has got a really strong point of view.
And Alberto, to Rachel's point about it being, what was your word, a bit schmaltzy, a bit cheesy, do you think that there was a local edit that should have been done?
Yeah, I think Rachel was actually spot on with that point. I thought when I first saw the film, I mean, it's a great ad. We talked about that. The editing is outstanding, like how they seamlessly kind of made those different clips and different sports transition together was quite impressive. But I do believe that the mix of celebrities versus common people should have been skewed more towards the common people. I think I'm pretty interested to see if and how Adidas and Under Armour and so on will respond. I think like a month ago, Adidas retweeted like a Nike ad that was during Black Lives Matter. I don't think they will retweet this one necessarily, but because there is an element of that. But for now, I didn't find it really relatable. I mean, if you show me LeBron James and Serena Williams playing together, it's quite hard to then picture myself being alongside them, you know.
And how about you, Mark? Did you see any room for improvement with this ad?
Yeah, I didn't have a long list of things to improve because it is, I mean, I think it's pretty amazing and one of my favorite Nike ads of all time. But the one thing, just to build on what Alberto was saying, is that the line, "You can't stop us," because the ad featured, the high elite athletes. I take us as in the voice of the athletes and the voice of Nike, and rather than a sort of more, empowering and inclusive us in terms of like all of us.
So Rachel, you run a gaming title. I didn't notice a esports element to that ad. I might be completely stupid and half of it was computer generated, which is possible because I'm not really a sports guy. But was there an esports element, or if not, should there have been?
But it's a really good point, and I suppose it picks up a little bit on Alberto's point. If it's going to be something relatable, it should also perhaps include what we know is an enormously growing, sector of sporting, for an entire, quite cross-generational, multicultural. So it would be really good to include something that's esports related.
Mark, do you think this creative idea was a kind of a first past the post execution? Could have Under Armour or Adidas had the same idea and executed it with their assets, or was this a uniquely Nike execution?
Yeah, I think it'd be very difficult for anyone else to do something like that. I mean, if they didn't even have the end frame, I would know that's Nike, no question. It's a very that anthemic kind of really strong point of view, sort of really emotive, really sort of iconic sort of feel. I mean, no one else can do that.
What I would like you to do, guys, is to give this ad a score out of 5. Rachel?
Like I said, even though I love a Nike ad, I'm going to score it a little bit lower than I typically would. It's going to get a 3.5 out of 3.5 out of 5 for me.
Mark?
No, sorry, Mark, breaking your heart there.
6.
Whoa!
And Alberta?
I will give it a 4. I will give it a 4.
Guys, thank you so much. Rachel, Mark, Alberto, it's been a pleasure.